Alright, hello fun and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the beginning of Britain's finest mod, which is being made by user Anaju66578. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the Lee-Enfield #1 Mark I rifle, also known as the Long Lee-Enfield, and this thing is simply magnificent. I've been having a lot of fun with it so far, as not only is it a fun new bolt-action rifle to enjoy, which I very much do love a good bolt-action, but it is of course a real-world historic weapon, and I do always enjoy having those being added in to the Commonwealth. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what exactly we do get with the #1 Mark I MLE, which in its most standard form will do 45 damage with a .308 round, with a firing rate of 4, range of 215, accuracy of 78, for a weight of 9.8. Not too bad there. And as you can see, this thing is beautifully made, especially on the modeling. It does have a little bit to be desired on the texturing, but even the mod maker admits to that on the mod page. But still, even with the texturing as it is, you get lots of good details, and on the modeling especially, there are just so many gorgeous details on this gun that I do very much enjoy. It is all in all very nicely made, though it does have, outside of the modeling and texturing, a oddities, which you may already have noticed over in the current mods list here. We've got a lot of modifications that are just block text. I don't know why that is, but yeah, most of the modifications don't actually have like a proper name or description. They are merely this. Now, thankfully, they do still adjust the various stats on the gun, so you have no problem there. It's just odd that they don't have proper names. It's very strange indeed. Now, there are two other oddities when you do first get your hands on this gun in the world. There are two modifications that actually don't start as loaded. One is the magazine. You actually start in with the full load magazine rather than the half load magazine. And the zoom modifier is actually at 0 rather than the 1.5, because there is no 0 zoom modifier in the actual workbench. So you do have to add those on, but thankfully that's quick and easy to do. It actually is still usable without those, it's just a little strange. So hopefully all those things do get fixed moving forward with this gun, but still with them, perfectly wonderful weapon, and I've very much been enjoying it. Now, as for how you do get this gun, well, sadly, there is only one of them in the world, so of course the rest of these I cheated in with console commands, and that gun is going to be found not too far away from where we are at Starlight Drive-In, at the Wildwood Cemetery, specifically at the groundskeeper's house just outside of it, where under the bed there is where you'll find this gun. Now, why it's there is actually a fun little bit of like mini lore on the mod page. Basically, the gun was owned by a rich local who had a collection and had that gun buried with them, and then the groundskeeper stole it. Very, very Fallout. I like it. Very nice. But yes, that is the one gun you'll find in the world, and in fact, that is the gun hanging there on the wall. Now, let's take a look at the modifications we do get with this weapon once you do have it in hand, and start with the receiver category, where we have all of them in block text. All of them in block text. But again, it is still going to change and modify the stats on the weapon. It just doesn't have a name or description. Really hope that gets fixed, because it's very weird. But we do have one down here, whatever this is meant to be named, which is going to up the damage pretty nicely on this gun from the standard up to 56. Not too bad there. We then have the barrel category, where we have 0 options in there, but the one singular block text thing, which, hey, is there. Same with the stock of the gun, we have just the one there as well. And then we have the magazine on this thing. It is a magazine-fed Lee-Enfield, and we either have the standard half bullet, which is 5 rounds, or the full bullet, which is 10. And thankfully it does show you at least the numbers there, so the numbers are coming through fine, just not letters, why ever that is. I've never seen this happen with a mod before, and it's very strange. But still, usable, so meh. Now the next is the sight category, where sadly we only have one standard iron sight. I would have loved to see some other things in here, like maybe a medium or long scope. I think would be very appropriate for a gun like this. And hopefully we get that in the future along with the fixed block text, but for now, just the iron sights. We then have the zoom modifier for said iron sights, where we either have 1.5x or 2x. And then after that, we have a damage modifier going from 0% on up to 300%, which you guys know my usual saying on that. If it had requirements, it would feel less cheaty, but without, it feels a bit cheaty. But hey, still, you do you. Do whatever you want with your modded-in gun. Good times. And finally, we have the ammunition category, where we either have the standard 308, the vanilla round, or we can add in the custom 303 British, which actually will up the damage here. And the 303 British plus the higher damage receiver, along with the damage modifier, can actually put this gun up to 200 damage per shot, which is pretty darn impressive, making this gun quite useful into the late game. Now, as for that 303 British ammunition, though, much like with the gun itself, you're not going to find it in the world, but instead you can go to any chemistry station, and down the Lee-Enfield ammo category, you can make your very own 303 British rounds by taking some 308 as well as some lead and converting them over somehow. And with that, you can have a more powerful bullet. Very cool indeed. So let me grab the one modified version of the gun that I did make, since there's not too many different modifications for the weapon, and let us take some shots first with the standard gun. There we go. Very good, smooth animations on this thing. Very much do love that bolt action, you know, well, reloading each shot, very cool. And the reload of the ammo in general into the magazine of the gun works quite nicely, looks very good. And looks even more impressive when we do have the modified version with the full 10 rounds. So let's just get the animation for that for a reload, and there we go, there we go. Very nice indeed. Just, you know, putting a lot of bullets in there. I don't know why I like that, but it's somewhat comforting for me. Though the oddity is, as you can see with this version of the gun, the bullets coming out are not textured. Just another small oddity with the weapon, another small oddity, but, I mean, again, it's another thing I can live with, and hopefully it's another thing that can be fixed fairly easily, because it does work on the other one. And I actually haven't played around too much with the modifications to see which it is. It might be the receiver, it might be something else, I don't know. But still though, fun weapon. So let us take a look at this thing in use against a Deathclaw with a faster firing modified one here, doing also a crapload more damage. So hopefully, shouldn't take us too long to kill this thing. Well, let's bring it on out and fire. Ooh, good shot there, good shot there. Oh, he's a wily one, he is a wily one indeed. There we go, there we go. God, I always do love a bolt action. I would love to buy a bolt action IRL, but the one I would love to buy, I can just never find. Alright, well there we go. That Deathclaw is dead, and it didn't even take all of our bullets. Good times there. But yeah, that is the beginning of Britain's finest mod, adding into the world the wonderful Long Lee-Enfield Rifle, and it's just a fun weapon that, again, I have very much been enjoying my time with, because who doesn't love a fun bolt-action gun? So if you'd like to take a look at this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description. But that is going to be it for this one, folks. Hopefully you all have enjoyed. You do come back for the next when hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, as always. We'll have a good one.